Welcome to Recognition Night. This is Marcel Castillo, adjunct ESL teacher at Palomar College. Now we've got about an hour before the celebration, and right now I feel a little bit cold, but I know in there it's going to be warm and welcoming for our ESL students, the ESL staff, the teachers, the parents, and the children. I just wanted to come out here and take a look at our program, see what we have lined up. And it looks like we have a great lineup. We have Christmas caroling. We have the author Paula Pereira, who's going to talk about how I learned English. We have a couple of speakers from 2 classes. Then we have certificates to give out. Oh, we have got Santa Claus coming to town to give gifts to our children. And we have prizes, music, and dancing. Wow, you can't help but get excited. So let's see what our ESL Recognition Night is all about. Come and join me. Just looking around the Student Union, you could see the event is almost packed with students, parents, their children, teachers, and staff. Recognition Night is a very family-oriented event. On the night of the event, many students come in groups with their family and friends. When they come in, they find the atmosphere inviting, warm, and welcoming. The students come to see their classmates, friends, and their ESL teachers. You see a family of 4, mothers with their children, friends with other friends, children running around, and free books for students. Oh yeah, did I mention food? There's a lot of food waiting for the students. Good comfort food after a long day's work for many of our students. There's also coffee and tea. Many are anxious and excited for the event to begin. Tonight's event is to thank all students for being part of the ESL program. So let's get Recognition Night started with Angela's class singing Christmas carols.
Tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on one-horse open sleigh. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The next is a guest speaker, is Paula Pereira. She's going to talk about how she learned English. So please, a strong applause.
I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and I came here when I was 19 years old. So I had to learn English and I had to learn Spanish. So that was a big challenge for me. And I remember the first time I came here, I was 11 years old and I had just started to take English classes. When I came here at 11 years old and I had just started learning English, I was so excited. I remember going to Target and I wanted to get a popcorn and a soda. So my dad told me, go Paula, talk to the cashier, get a popcorn and a soda. So I looked at the cashier. It was the first time that I was going to speak in English, and I told her, 1 popcorn, 1 Coke. And she looked at me and she probably realized that my English wasn't so good. So she gave me what I wanted and I walked out feeling all proud of myself because I was able to communicate and I thought I knew English. So several years later, my family decided to move permanently to Southern California. I was anxious and excited, and I'll never forget that day, March 20th, 2001. Yes, it's something that you never forget. So it was a big experience for me. It was hard to leave my family because I had my grandma, I had my uncle, my aunt, my in-laws that I had to leave in Brazil, so it was very sad. But I was excited to start a new life here. As soon as I got here in California and I started talking to people, they couldn't understand me. And I had taken English classes in Brazil for 9 years. What I realized is that I needed to take ESL classes to get better. I went to Cerritos College. It's a community college, just like Palomar College. I took an ESL class to learn the grammar, to learn the structure of the language, to learn the foundation of the language so I could communicate better. But my teachers were telling me, Paula, you need to practice. You're learning everything, but you're not practicing enough. And that's what all of us need to try to do, right? We need to practice. So I started working at the college library, and I was very nervous. And when you work at a public place doing customer service, you talk to people from all over the world. They have different accents. And I was very afraid to talk to everybody. Sometimes the telephone would ring and I had to answer the phone. It's very nerve-wracking, right? Because we never know if we will be able to understand it. So at the library, I always listened to my supervisors and I always paid attention to how they pronounce the words. So I tried to be very engaged to learn the language. But I felt like I wanted to do more, so I started watching TV in English, listening to the radio in English too, but they talk very fast when you listen to the radio. But I tried to do as much as possible to stay engaged in order to be able to learn. It took me 9 years to become a librarian, to get my education, and now I'm a librarian at Cerritos College. I help a lot of ESL students. I teach classes there too, and I absolutely love what I do because it's my chance to help other students, just like you and just like I was too. What students ask me to, how many years did it take for you to learn English to feel? And I would say it took me about 5 years to feel a little bit better. But you have to be very active when it comes to learning English. You have to ask people, what is this word? I still do this nowadays. What is this? How do you say it? How do you spell it? And you write it down. When you have a chance to say that word in the future, say it because you need to practice. One thing that I did, because I got so many people and students asking me questions about how I learned English, I decided to write a book. And it's called How I Learned English, the story of a brave Mexican girl. I wrote it and I illustrated it too. So I had to paint. Everything that you see here, I had to paint, and I didn't know how to paint. When you want something very badly, you really want it, you make it happen. It took me 3 years to illustrate everything, to get better, and to write the story. So now, I wanted to share that story with all of you. And it's the story of Claudia Sanchez. She's the main character, and she comes from Mexico. Her parents sent her over here when she's 20 years old. And I hope that her story will be an inspiration to all of you because a lot of people are reading this with their children. So it's a good family time. She goes through a lot of things, just like many of us do, because a lot of us, we still have part of our family in another country. And she goes to college just like you. She's a successful student just like you. But I don't want to tell you how the story ends because I want you to read the story. I wanted to thank you all so much for allowing me to be here tonight. If you want to, I will be able to sign the copies of the books that you got. And you can talk to me and ask some questions. I will be delighted to talk to all of you. And thank you so much for inviting me to be here tonight. Thank you.
A student speaker. Her name is Edu Carcamo from Li Chen Level 4 class. She's going to talk about her experience at Palomar College.
I want to thankful to Palomar College for everything it offers to us. And also, I want to be thankful to Teresa Nava for all her support at the computer class, and ESL tutors for helping. And my classmates, thank you for your support, and it was a pleasure to share with you all this semester. Thank you everyone for everything I asked and needed. In addition, I want to invite everyone to keep coming at school and never give up, because learning English is very important in our lives. For example, speaking English, it's very good and it's empowering to a better lifestyle. It gives us confidence, and it helps you to find new opportunities in life and help us to get our goals and dreams. Finally, I want to be thankful to this person who works with discipline, who works from his heart, who gives most of the time. He helps you give the best of yourself, no matter what. Also, he's a great human being and an excellent mentor. I can say he's the best teacher I have never had in life. Mr. Lee Chen. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Christmas and wonderful 2016.
Welcome with a lot of applause.
My favorite major is photography. You can see some of my photos here. I want to study photography in the future. I started taking photos with a digital camera when I was 12 years old. I took a lot of photos during my life. I do love photography. I want to be a famous photographer, and I have a lot of dreams about it. At the end, I want to say thanks to my dear teacher, Mrs. Hansen. She helped me to learn English really fast. I'm feeling really good right now. Thank you guys for coming and listening to me. I would really appreciate if you guys have some comments about my photos.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on.
Recognition Night is to just honor all of our students who have come, and put in so much time and effort learning English. Every single 4 nights a week after working hard all day long. They rush to school, they make sure that somebody watches their children, and they come and they're eager to learn, and they push through no matter how hard it is. And these people should be recognized, and we should be able to tell them, good job, good job. I mean, sometimes we go through life and we try so hard and we try to do good things and to make ourselves better and to help our families, but we never get a thank you and nobody ever recognizes us. But this is our chance to just say, good for you. Give out certificates for attendance and high grades on tests and peer mentors who help the other students, and to offer our students, a nice night where they can come and eat and relax and be proud of themselves.
How was it? Thank you, Marcel, for everything.
It was good. We want to make it better every year, and hopefully next semester we're going to make it Better and better. I don't know how far we're gonna go, but
Thank
we're
you,
getting
thank you,
better.
Marcel, for everything that you do.
Thank you.
Way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.